All right, welcome back, everybody, to another Cuddly Chat. I am your host, Cuddly, and today, I am joined by Henchman616.
Hello.
You can say hello. And
Hey, hey. Thanks for
as you
having
can
me.
see, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to. I'm glad we finally got to do this because time
Yeah,
zones sucks.
exactly.
Um.
I just finished work. About
Oh
playing.
yeah. So
Yeah.
finished working, and as you guys can see, we're going to be chatting about Mortal Kombat, which
Oh,
should
yeah.
be very interesting. I'm very
I've been looking
excited
forward to
for this
this.
one. Yes, me too. I am so excited for this. Uh, and as
Um,
always, I like to just kind of start off with kind of a history of the series and like our
mhm,
experiences with the series. So
okay.
um, I'll just I'll let you go first. Uh,
Um,
what was your
Before you
experience?
said, actually, I just want to ask you this question because I think it's kind of important.
Sure.
You said this is MK Mortal Kombat 1, the one that's coming out this September, is going to be your first Mortal Kombat game.
Absolutely.
So I was curious what made you decide to jump in now, even despite the series being around since the 90s.
Right, right. Well, actually, like that first trailer that they did, uh,
Yep.
was like I saw that, and then like the announcement trailer, and then the gameplay trailer came out, and I was like, holy crap! I want to like.
Yes.
And Mortal Kombat's one of those things, like you said, it's been around for like years at
Years,
this point.
decade,
Yeah,
2 decades, I think. No, three
several
decades.
several decades,
Yes,
and
3 decades.
and so it's like if you're into gaming at all, even if you haven't played games for a long time, if you're into gaming at all, like you know about Mortal Kombat,
Um, it's big in the West.
yeah,
I've I've gone to Asia. They don't know anything. They don't know anything
really,
about Mortal Kombat. Yeah, they really don't.
which is weird to me because like
It's more of a Western pop culture thing.
yeah, well, like it's a Western game, but it's
Yes.
based on like Asian like
Yeah, Asian cinema, Asian martial arts.
yeah, absolutely. So
Although
it's kind of funny that they
yeah,
don't.
I don't know if you know, but the original Mortal Kombat game was supposed to be a Van Damme game.
hmm I I did because like when I when I look at games like I've never played before or like part of a series or something that I'm potentially interested in, like I look up everything I can about it,
Yes.
and like I saw that like they wanted to make a Van Damme game, and then
Yeah,
he was
but
like no.
no, he wasn't really committed to it.
Yeah,
So they
or like
decided, you know
schedules or
what,
something. Hmm
we, we got the resources. We'll make our own game.
Yeah, yeah, and I think honestly, like, I think they're better for it because they could do
Yeah,
their own thing. You know what I mean?
they just made a franchise, and they're
Yeah.
also responsible for your American ESRB rating.
Oh yeah. We'll get into that here,
Yeah,
yeah, in a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely it's definitely something special, even if you're not into this series itself, or you're like me and you're brand new to it, or you just
um,
know video games. You know.
is how do I describe it? I mean, people might I guess it's a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Back in the day, because I played plenty of our fighting games like Street Fighter, Soul Calibur,
Sure.
Tekken, uh, and well, growing up back in the day when Mortal Kombat isn't what it is now, it wasn't so polished. It was more of a novelty.
Mm-hmm.
That novelty being the blood and the fatalities.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
but now it's
definitely.
but now these modern games since MK9 they've gone drastically better,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're like gone to the bit where you can actually play these in tournaments. They're actually on a competitive level.
I and I think that's funny because like Mortal Kombat itself, like if I'm remembering correctly, like in the series, in the game series, like
Yes.
it is a tournament, right? Like that's
Oh
why they
yeah,
call
yeah.
it that.
And Mortal Kombat is a tournament.
Yeah, so I think that's cool that they finally like reached that level of being able to be in actual tournaments and stuff. Like that's so cool
Although
too.
in the current narrative, it's not really a tournament anymore.
Right. Oh yeah,
it's,
everything changes all the time.
it's more about adventures, plots of intrigue, and doomsdays
All
than
right.
anything. But we can get into that after.
Hmm. Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Well, like I said, I like to start off with the history, like our personal histories
Oh
with the
yes.
series, and like as you said, like this is going to be my first one, and what better game to start with than Mortal Kombat 1, I guess. And
Um,
but like,
I'm looking at it like, oh, Cuddy's gonna miss out on a few things because
well, it's
it's it's a
yeah.
um it's a reboot of a reboot, and you're gonna see a lot of surprises from what I've seen as a fan, a long time fan.
Oh yeah. Like there's things that I know about it. I just haven't played the games. Like I'm not hardcore into the Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat iceberg, So,
Oh yes.
um, but yeah, go ahead. What about your history with the series? When did you start? What did you think of it when you first
Oh,
saw it?
I I remember. I think the first time I saw Mortal Kombat was when I was like I think 7 years old,
Oh yeah.
1996.
Mhm.
Um, I was a poor kid growing up, but
Right.
I was fortunate enough to own the Sega Mega Drive.
Mhm.
I think the Sega Mega Drive in Britain was the Sega Master System in the US,
It's Sega Genesis,
and
yeah.
Sega
Mhm.
Genesis, yeah. But we called it. I had a Mega Drive. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like one was
But
Japan, one was Europe, and then one was the
uh,
US.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So one day, my dad sometimes he would go to the local pawn shop and get games for cheap
Mhm.
for me and my brother. And he came home with a little cartridge called Mortal Kombat 3.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And oh wow, back then that was pretty shocking for me and my mom
Sure, yeah.
because oh my god, you saw blobs of red coming out of people.
Oh yeah, like that
And
was
it
one
was
thing.
so
I'm sorry?
yeah. The game was so much darker than Street Fighter, which I was normally playing Street Fighter 2.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, like there was like you had talked about uh the fact that it actually spawned the ESRB here in the
yeah,
United States, and that is true. Like there
yeah. Back in the day,
like
parents were more squeamish.
there it cannot be understated like just how much like controversy there was around Mortal
Oh
Kombat.
yeah, yeah.
Like
There was a lot of stigma around video games and violence, basically. And back then, Mortal Kombat really took the cake,
right,
as
yeah,
it were.
yeah, there was nothing like it. I mean,
Yeah,
and that's kind of the cool thing about growing up in the like or being born in the 80s or early
eighties to
90s and
nineties.
then growing
Yeah, I grew up in the nineties.
yeah, growing up in the 90s and early 2000s and stuff is like you get to see the the
Uh,
evolution of games and
this
how how
this
things change and it's really cool because like I said I mean there's no way if you weren't living it like there's no way to describe
oh
just
yeah.
how much of a wave
Oh,
Mortal Kombat made.
oh yeah. I think I'm lucky to be a millennial, just growing up in the nineties, because you got access to the eighties, and you also got access to the future of pop culture and media. I mean, I think
Right.
like yeah, this is a great time to be alive.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
um,
definitely.
so yeah, I played MK Trilogy, so that was that exposure.
Hmm.
Growing up, again, I was a poor kid, so I didn't get a Nintendo 64, so I missed out on MK4.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't
But
have one either. So,
you know what filled the gap?
what was that?
A very crappy Mortal Kombat animated series.
Oh. Oh,
Oh my
yeah,
god,
I think I remember that,
it's pretty
maybe.
painful to watch now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
combat time.
like
I don't want to talk about it.
yeah. No, it's like and some of those things like at the time like it was so cool to see like, your favorite characters or whatever,
Yeah,
on
cartoon.
TV or doing,
Yeah,
whatever. Like hey, this is that character from the games that I play or what,
Yeah.
you know. So
Oh my, it's
yeah,
Captain M. Oh god.
yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a Sonic and Mario cartoon, but I never watched those in Britain.
Yeah, I think there was. Yeah, I remember
But
there was
definitely,
a.
but they aired Mortal Kombat for us.
Yeah.
There was also the first two live action movies.
Hmm. I do.
First one was Paul W.S. Anderson. He's famous. Yeah,
Yeah, for Resident Evil and
I've only seen the one movie, Resident Evil.
yeah.
I just again, poor kid, couldn't keep
Hmm.
up. I never didn't bother with Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Yeah, Monster Hunter is a whole different thing. That
Oh god.
y-
Let's get the one iceberg. We only got one boat.
yeah. Yeah,
Um. Okay, so fast forward.
mhm.
I was 13 years old at the time.
Sure.
13 years old, and the year is I think it was it 2004? Let me check it. Let's see now. Hold on, just googling this.
Mhm.
Just need to this. Well, I'm Deception. It came out. I'm pretty sure it came out. What year was it? Yeah, October 2004. Yeah. So in the UK, when I was growing up, this is when the PS2 was out.
Mhm.
We had this. We had the UK PS2 magazine was it was amazing. It was the dog ball.
Mhm.
um, and each magazine came with a demo disc, and it had obviously the PS2 demos, downloads, and video game trailers.
Mhm.
And that's how I found out about MK Deception. Uh, but before MK Deception, there's actually Deadly Alliance, but I didn't get around to playing that.
Mhm.
But Mortal Kombat Deception is very favored by the community. It's definitely one up there as one of the best ones.
Mhm.
I think on my 14th birthday, one of my older cousins came to visit,
Mhm.
and I took all my lunch money. Basically, I didn't eat lunch. I starved myself. I saved up money to get the game basically.
Right.
But
Right.
I wasn't old enough. I wasn't old enough. I had to beg my cousin to please help me get this game
Oh wow. Yeah.
because across the street was actually across where I was currently living.
Mhm.
Across the street was a Blockbuster.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
remember that
Yes.
the Blockbuster rental
Blockbuster.
store?
Mhm.
Yeah, and they had a copy of Mortal Kombat Deception, so I begged him to just go over and get it for me,
Right.
which he did.
That's awesome.
And for the rest of that night, we just loaded the game, and just played it.
Yeah, like I think it's cool, like as divisive as like fighting game communities are, like
Oh yeah,
there's
thank
just
you.
something about like fighting games that brings people together. Like,
Oh
you
yeah,
know, there are always people in the arcades playing, either Street
Free
Fighter
Fire,
or Mortal
Mortal Kombat.
Kombat or
But Mortal Kombat was the one where you could just humiliate your opponent further by committing fatalities.
oh yeah, and like
Yeah,
the the fatalities were something special with Mortal Kombat as well, like because
definitely.
it wasn't just like you knock them out and the round is done. Like you
Yeah,
rip their spine out through their throat
yeah.
or something. Like I mean, it's
And you had to know the code to do it as well.
yeah,
And oh, here's the thing: I don't know how they did it back then during the arcades, because obviously there was no internet back then.
right.
It was mostly word of mouth,
So most
and I don't know. I don't know if people were experimenting or if Ed Boon and the creators of Mortal Kombat actually went out and told people you can kill people. Here's how you do it.
right. I think a lot like um another thing about like the early 90s and stuff was like that's
Yes.
how you learn things was either
Yeah, yeah.
through
Word of mouth and
like
experimenting.
gaming magazines
Yes.
or talking to your
Uh,
friends or just accidentally like finding something out and you're like holy crap how
yeah.
did I do that like
Oh, back in the day, this goes back to the PlayStation 2 magazine. They sometimes had those little cheap booklets,
oh yeah yeah
and
hmm
they also had the Mortal Kombat codes in there,
hmm
which is great. Also, back in the day, during growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, you could just say anything about video games and people would believe you.
Oh yeah, like you could
There
for
wasn't
sure.
really there wasn't much internet back then to fact check.
Yeah, like the internet, like again,
Yeah,
like that's something
it
that
doesn't blossom. Yeah, it doesn't blossom until what would you say 2000, 2007, 10?
probably 2006 with YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Oh yeah, YouTube.
but like people that are younger that are might be listening to this, like
Yeah.
that's um that's something that like they won't ever get to experience, which is kind of sad because
Oh,
it's like now you can just look
back in
up.
the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, no internet, no instant entertainment or gratification. You had to make your own fun
Oh
or
yeah.
knowledge. Or find your own knowledge.
And I mean like
Oh,
if you
me and my big brother did some dumb shit back in the day.
yeah, I think we all
we,
did
we
actually.
almost set the house on fire.
Oh my god.
I'm so bored.
That's a that's a fatality right there.
Oh yeah, or
Um
we played the thing called Tape Wars.
oh yeah.
VHS tapes,
Yes.
or maybe you had Betamax tapes. Okay, so our idea of Tape Wars was one kid's down against the wall, the other kid starts chucking the VHS tapes at him as hard as he could, and see if they could jaw dodge.
Right.
You know how dangerous that is. Just
I would assume that would be very dangerous. Yes.
yeah. Good
Um
thing we were dodging pretty well. No one got hurt.
nice.
Just
So
throwing tapes at each other. Oh,
but like
sorry,
no,
off
you're
topic.
fine. Like I was saying, like younger people that might be listening to this, like
Yeah,
there was no internet. There was no
yeah.
like you
There was no
found things
social
out.
media.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
found things out through the playground and through your
Yes,
friends,
yes.
and half the
Word of
time
mouth.
what your friends told you was complete bull crap, but
Yes,
sometimes it
but you still
wasn't.
believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. You didn't know who you couldn't believe. Like someone, like I don't know, maybe you're stuck on a level, and someone might tell you, you got you see that statue, you gotta turn it around. Just turn it clockwise. That opens the next passage,
right.
and all you have to do, and when you're at school, you had to just wait, and then until you got home to do it,
Mhm.
to see if that kid was bullshitting.
Right. Yeah, and
And
it's like
even if he was bullshitting, you come back the next day, hey man, it didn't work,
right.
and he'll tell you, didn't do it right. Okay.
Yeah, and then you try again, like but like
Yeah.
one thing that was so cool was like just like you said, like going up to your friend and be like, dude, this did not work. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then like you said, maybe you actually didn't do it right, and then they go and show you, and you're
Yeah.
like, holy crap, I didn't know that. Like
Yeah.
so
Or you could just, or did what I did, and then we invite each other into our houses, and I'll just show you what I did.
oh yeah, and yeah,
Yeah. No.
and
That was the thing back in the day, just going over to your friend's house and play on couch co-op.
oh yeah, for sure. And
Oh,
but something that I wanted to ask um
just
about
back,
Mortal
let's
Kombat
get back to Mortal
specifically
Kombat.
was like
Yeah.
do you have any favorite characters that you
Oh
like?
hell yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
figured you
Sub
probably
Zero.
did. Sub-Zero? Yeah,
Sub Zero is my favorite. Yes.
absolutely.
Oh, where can I start with Sub Zero?
Sure.
Where can I start with him? Jeez. Did I go into the history of him? Oh, jeez.
I mean, you can do like a Cliff Notes version. Like, what is it about Sub-Zero that you like that makes him like appeal to you?
Okay, so obviously no pun intended. I just think he's really cool. Uh,
Yeah.
his special moves. I mean, he's an ice assassin warrior.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's a part of the Lin Kuei, this Chinese assassin guild. People
Mhm.
mistake him for a ninja, even though he's not.
Right.
um, he has a very interesting rivalry with Scorpion, the Yellow Ninja.
Mhm.
Uh, that's Ed Boon's favorite character, by the way.
I gotta say,
Uh,
like, I do like
yeah,
I know a lot of the characters. Like I said, I just haven't
yes,
played the games, but like I do
yeah.
like Scorpion. I think everybody kind of likes Scorpion.
Oh yeah, he's got that amazing tagline. I mean, sorry, not catchphrase.
Yeah.
Get over here. Oh, fun fact. During the
Mm-hmm. Did I lose you?
'90s to 2000s, when they
Uh-huh.
whenever they can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
thought I lost
So
you for a second.
okay, so during the early 2000s, whenever they
Sure.
showed a brand new Mortal Kombat trailer, it would usually be a fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and Sub-Zero would normally get his ass kicked.
Right.
There is a reason for that, well, in my head at least.
Right.
Okay, two reasons. Scorpion is Ed Boon's favorite character. The second reason is I think it's a bit of a punishment for Sub-Zero.
Uh-huh.
Back in the 90s, have you heard of Mortal Kombat mythology?
Yes.
That was, I think, their first attempt at a adventure game.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, it's something that they didn't have any experience with. So the game came out very poor. The controls were, to put it very nicely, very annoying and unresponsive.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, obviously, it didn't sell well. And I guess Mr. Boone didn't forgive Sub-Zero for that. So for the next couple of years, Sub-Zero gets his ass kicked in the trailers. At least that's my headcanon about it. I'm not sure if it's true. Oh yeah, yes. Oh yes, that is him. Yeah. Video convention. Yeah, Comic Con. Yeah, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, that's him. That's him. Yeah,
Played Mortal Kombat, and
yeah.
I think my mic turned off again. So if nobody heard me, if you know, I don't even
No, I
play
didn't turn
Mortal
off.
Kombat, and I know, like, I was geeking out when I heard him do it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I mean, funny how to think about the Get Over Here. I remember when they first showed the first trailer for the recent Mortal Kombat movie. I think I was like 21 or
hmm
and they showed what's his name? Is it there's the actor for Scorpion? I think is Haruyuki Sanada. I think that's his name.
that sounds right. It sounds right.
There it is. Hiroyuki Sanada. Sorry. He plays the role of Scorpion, but I think they used Ed Boon's voice. I think they used Ed Boon's Get Over Here for the first trailer,
Oh, did
but
they
for the
really?
second trailer, yeah, unfortunately for the second trailer, for the second and third trailer, and in the second trailer and in the movie, they actually just let him say "Get Over Here." I think to just
Yeah.
cut that out, which is unfortunate. But I guess they gotta let. I guess it was fair to let the actor actually say it himself.
Yeah. And one thing that I noticed because I saw like that particular scene, I saw it on YouTube. Like they actually when he does that, it plays like a few seconds of the Mortal Kombat theme, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Um, so like I said,
Oh yeah.
like
Sorry.
there's things that
Yeah.
I know, but that I'm like, even though I haven't played the games, I'm like, holy
Yeah.
crap, they did the thing,
Yeah.
or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's things
Um.
that I enjoy.
Yeah. Original Sub Zero. I'm sorry. I speak off track of it. We're talking about Sub Zero.
Sure.
Um. I think it was his head spine rip thing that got most of the controversy back in the day.
Yeah.
His original fatality. Also, I don't know if you don't know, but there are two Sub Zeros in the series.
I think I did know that. I don't know who the second one is, but I know the first one. So.
Okay, uh, they're two brothers. So in the first game, it was Bihan.
hmm
He's the first Sub Zero, and in canon, he gets killed by Scorpion because. Do you know what do you know the story of about it about between those two?
Uh.
Because they are rivals.
Um. Didn't Sub-Zero kill his family? Kill Scorpion's family or something like
Yes,
that? Or
yes.
his faction did?
Yeah. So apparently the Lin Kuei
Mm-hmm.
slaughtered the Shira Ryu to a man, including the women and children. And I don't know where. I think Scorpion couldn't make it in time, and he found out that Sub-Zero was the one that killed his family personally. Uh, recent canon, yeah, he got killed himself by Sub-Zero during the encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Sent to Neverrealm, that's hell basically, and he came back as a revenant to find the Mortal Kombat tournament on behalf of Quan Chi, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So in the first Mortal Kombat game, he gets revenge on Sub-Zero,
Nice.
and later down the line in the games,
Mm-hmm.
the brand new Sub-Zero, Bihan, sorry, Kuai Liang is Bihan's younger brother. He takes over his Sub-Zero. It's revealed to Scorpion that no, my brother didn't kill your family per se. It was the sorcerer Quan Chi who did his shape-shifting bullshit and tricked you into murdering my brother.
It's always the sorcerers you gotta look out
Yeah. Quan Chi's a bitch anyway.
for.
I don't like him. Sorry, pardon my language.
No, you're fine. This
Yeah,
is it's Mortal Kombat. Come on.
yeah. Oh, so you already know about Noob Saibot.
Right.
Yeah, he's the original Sub-Zero.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I like
Yeah,
how they
he basically he got resurrected as a wraith, a revenant, basically.
I like how they bring back um like not old characters but like the same characters that you know but
Yes.
have them as different characters down the line. I think that's really cool.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 9 and X, really. Yeah, they took that to a new level.
I think I think
Um,
I think
yep,
something that we would be remiss not to mention when talking about Mortal Kombat, besides the fatalities and stuff like that, is
yep.
secrets, because
Oh yeah, secrets.
I've been doing like a boatload of research on Mortal Kombat, and there's secrets out the wazoo, man. Like
Oh
there's
yes,
secrets everywhere. Secret fighters, secret da 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 da.
yeah.
Like man,
You read about Ermac, right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Ermac. Um, yeah, like I think arcade players saw like a secret fire Ermac, and like the programmers of the game were like, no, Ermac is just code. Well,
Right.
we could turn that into a character.
Yeah, like that's what I
Yeah,
think is so fun is like
yeah.
that they
They love
yeah.
interacting with the community in a way back in the
Yeah,
day.
oh yeah, they take like things that probably they never even thought of, but
Yeah.
the public, the fan base was like
Even though them,
who the
even
heck
though
is
most of
this?
the the secret ninjas are all power swaps mostly.
Right. Well, I mean, with Super Nintendo especially, like they could only do so much, so
Yeah.
now they can flesh them out and make them their own
Oh
things
yeah.
and everything. But like, I just think it's so cool. Like, um, one thing that I saw was like, I don't know what game Rain debuted in, but like,
Rain. Let me check. Rain debut. Let's see now. When was Rain? Mortal Kombat 3. It says
okay, I
as a guy character. Yeah.
yeah, because I remember reading something like that in the arcade version of one of those that
Yep.
that Ed Boon just put in Rain in there, like
Yeah.
just in the attract mode. He wasn't even in the game, but just so that people would go crazy trying to figure out like how do you get this character and da da da, and
Yes.
then they made him his own thing. So I think that's really funny that they do
Yeah.
that. Um,
Also, as a nod to the Prince song, Purple
yeah,
Rain.
yeah,
Uh,
that's so fun. And isn't
also,
isn't he a prince as well? Like in the lore and stuff, isn't?
oh yeah, he's
Yeah,
supposed to be Edenian royalty. I think he's a bastard or something.
right.
And because of that, he's extremely arrogant.
So he's the
He's
Jon
a
Snow of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but nobody likes him anyway. Like
Right,
he's a d bag. He's a bit of a d bag.
right, right.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like so with Mortal Kombat 1 coming out here in just a few weeks, I think we're what, like
Yes,
6 weeks away? Like that's crazy. Um
September. Yeah. Oh wow,
uh
time flies.
oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna be so poor at the end of. I'm gonna be so poor come winter because all these games are coming out.
I know, it's like everything always comes out like right like either
Like seriously, during this whole year, I was bored out of my mind because I didn't have any like big title games to play. And now they're just coming out at the same time.
yeah, it all opens the floodgates and stuff. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
um but with Mortal Kombat 1 coming out,
Yes.
as somebody that's been a fan of the series since the beginning and everything, like what did you think of it when you first saw the announcement trailer, the new
Oh,
trailers that they've
um,
put out?
I was surprised. Let me tell you, I after finishing the story mode for Mortal Kombat 11, I was a bit iffy with the decision.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not really. I mean, it's the game's been out for a while. I don't know if I should spoil it for you. MK1 is a spoiler already.
Right.
So, Liu Kang,
I
he's a
think he
he's a
wins,
he's a
right?
Shaolin monk. Yeah.
He-
So basically, extra DLC ending comes out.
mhm.
You find out that Shang Tsung is up to more shenanigans. Shang Tsung is basically the original villain of Mortal Kombat, the old man
Mhm.
sorcerer, and basically him and Liu Kang basically fight out over who gets to be the elder god of time, the of time basically, and Liu Kang wins, and he decides, fuck it, I'm gonna reset the timeline. Just yeah, it's a reboot of the reboot basically.
Mhm.
And yeah, there are some surprising changes, little changes in the current lore because of Liu Kang.
Yeah, like
Rem-
Melina
Uh,
being like Predator now.
uh, no, no, oh, okay, I wanted to get to that actually. So
Sure.
the brand new trailer just popped out for Lee May that shows Lee May, Tanya, and Baraka.
Mhm.
Uh, funny how like Lee May and Tanya, they're like not super they're not exactly super popular actually. They're
Mhm.
like C tier when it comes to popularity. Like they had their own little following, but they weren't like mainstays.
Right.
So it's pretty cool that MK1 is actually giving these not so popular characters a chance to shine again.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. But like,
Yeah. Um, but okay, so Melina, uh, in the original lore, Melina is actually a clone of Princess Katana,
mhm.
Liu Kang's love interest, but he was she was created by Shang Tsung. He's a sorcerer who's also into flesh craft, basically.
Oh.
So cloning is not beyond him, but he mixed it with Tarkatan DNA. A Tarkatan is basically those are yeah, you saw Baraka in the trailer, right? That
Mhm.
monstrous warrior with blades coming out of his wrists.
Right.
That's what you call a Tarkatan. She's got Tarkatan DNA, so that's why she has fangs, basically. But in this new game, turns out Tarkatan is not a race. They've always been a race basically up to this point. In this new game, they are portrayed to be some kind of plague disease that you get, like rabies or something.
Right. Like I've seen so many people like on message boards being like, "Oh, Baraka, like I don't um like I feel so bad for him now. Like he's just a
It
dude
is
that
worse.
yeah,
Wait, hold on. Can we just pause a minute?
sure.
Yeah, one sec.